Welcome to Slime Media Sports Slash Hip Hop. Here today, I'm here to talk about my biggest draft winners and losers. I'm gonna start off with the winners as first to be positive. My winners of the NFL Draft 2021 are the Jets, Lions, and Jaguars. I'm gonna start off with the Jets. What I like, they got quarterback course. They got their quarterback of the future, Zach Wilson, who I think is gonna be a star. I don't care what nobody say. I believe Zach Wilson will be a star in this league. And I like they got the receiver, Elijah Moore, out of Ole Miss. I like that as well. You got Jameson Crowder on one side, then you got Corey Davis on the other. Then you got Elijah Moore on the slot, and he can do his damage there on the slot. So I thought then the Jets drafted well in defense. I like it because the head coach was defensive coordinator of San Francisco. So I'm pretty much thinking he's going to put his emphasis on defense there on that team. They're going to run the football and play good defense. So they drafted running back as well. But I feel like I like their picks, like they're playing for the future. I wouldn't be surprised in the next 3 to 4 years, the Jets gonna be booming. Like you gonna hear their name again, like they had when they had Mark Sanchez and all of them. But I think, of course, Zach Wilson has a better chance to be a way better quarterback than Mark Sanchez. But so I like the Jets. I like what they did in the draft. Then my second pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars. They got the first round pick, Trevor Lawrence. Everybody knew Urban Meyer was gonna pick Trevor Lawrence. Everybody knew that. But then I like they got the running back out of Clemson, Travis as well. His name is Travis. I like that they got him. I feel like they pretty much put their emphasis as well. Urban Meyer put emphasis on what he wants on the team, pretty much build around the defense. And I wouldn't, the way they talent wise, and I wouldn't be surprised in the next 2 or 3 or 4, I would say 3 years. I give the Jacksonville Jaguars the next 3 years, they'll be a contender as well. I'm not saying championship contender, but a playoff contender in the next 2 to 3 years. I feel like Trevor Lawrence has potential to be the best quarterback Jacksonville has ever got. That's my opinion. So I'm not saying it's facts or anything. I'm just saying that's how I feel. Then last but certainly not least, the Detroit Lions drafted well. I like the new head coach Dan Campbell, what he did. Got the offensive lineman Panay Sewell. Then got a bunch of defensive players as well. Like pretty much with Jared Goff as your quarterback. Jared Goff, he's not gonna beat you with his arm. He's gonna make the right decision. He's gonna be consistent. That's how he is. He's gonna do the underneath throws, make his reads, and that's it. He's not gonna be throwing the football. But if you put him in a great defense, and you saw it with the Rams, he can take it to the Super Bowl. He can take it to the promised land. You don't need a good quarterback to win a Super Bowl. You don't. You just need an above average quarterback to win a Super Bowl. Defense wins championships. We saw that. We literally saw in the last Super Bowl. The Kansas City Chiefs were the number one offense, but when Patrick Mahomes was getting sacked, none of that didn't even matter. So I believe I like what Detroit is doing. So I believe with Jared Goff as your quarterback, they can go places. I like the draft picks they had. I like to see they got a USC. So, but I like the offensive lineman they got, Panay Sewell. I like him, who they got. But in my personal opinion, I feel like they're just getting like little pieces around Jared Goff because, like I said, he's not gonna beat you with his arm. He's just gonna beat you literally just with readouts, with throwing his reads and do what he need to do. I think they're pretty much gonna run the football with DeAndre Swift, the running back who they drafted last year, and play good defense. I think that's Dan Campbell's emphasis on the team. What it seems like he's trying to do: play good defense and just run that football. That's it. That's gonna be most of their offense. So I like what they did. So those are my biggest winners of the 21 draft. Now here come the biggest losers. One of my biggest losers is the Raiders. They got the offensive tackle Leatherwood, a left tackle Leatherwood, but I'm just like they didn't really draft really big. They didn't draft somebody like impactful or nothing like that. I was expecting them to draft somebody really that was gonna make an impact. That's why I feel like maybe they're gonna make that phone call to the Packers by Aaron Rodgers. That's what it seems like they're. I can imagine John Gruden would do that for the Vegas Raiders. He would do that, make that gamble, I would say, and go out to Aaron Rodgers. Because Derek Carr's a good quarterback, but he has been to stay healthy, and he's only taken the playoffs one time since he's been there. So I wouldn't be surprised if they make that phone call and call about Aaron Rodgers. I think it's like they're trying to do because they didn't really do anything in the draft to make you feel like, oh, okay, yeah, they up. Like, nah, they ain't do nothing. So I mean, Alex Westbrook, he'd be a good player. He's gonna be good offensive lineman, but like they could have done more. Then another loser I got is the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers. I'm like, why didn't you draft a quarterback? I don't get that at all. Ben Roethlisberger's only got a year or two left, if that, to play in the National Football League. You got Dwayne Haskins, but is he really the answer? Unless they see something I don't know in practice, like Dwayne Haskins. I'm like, you got the running back Najee Harris to be that new running back for y'all, which I think he'll do good. But I thought they should have drafted for the future. They should have drafted a quarterback. He didn't draft a quarterback, so I'm just like, didn't make any sense at all. So I didn't get that part of the draft at all. Like then another team that had a weak draft. Then my next team that had a weak draft, I believe, was Washington Redskins. They didn't draft a quarterback. You got Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's been in the league forever. Since I think Ryan Fitzpatrick been in the league since I was in middle school. You got him Then you got the Taylor Heineke, the kid that played last year, but he had an okay season. But come on, why ain't you draft a quarterback? You drafted another defensive player. Like, your defense is straight. Your defense is good. It's like your offense we need to worry about. Your defense is okay. So I'm just like, what were you doing, Washington? So, like I didn't understand. I didn't get their draft yet. But those are my winners, losers for the draft. Those are my winners. Like I said, I already said my winners and my losers. Now I'm gonna talk about teams that I like. I'm gonna talk about the Cowboys. A good friend of mine, he's a big Cowboys fan. I like what the Cowboys did. They got Michael Parsons. They got a linebacker. They finally drafted on defense. I like that. They finally drafted on defense. They didn't go for offense, go for nothing like that. Because your offense is straight. Your defense is struggling. Your cornerback's getting burnt. You're doing all that. That's what you need to focus on, the defense. So they did that. I'm like, Jerry Jones, okay, all right. He actually did good this year with drafting. And then my second team, a team that I like, personally, everybody knows, I'm a big Vikings fan. I love what we did. We got Christian Darrisaw as offensive tackle. We got Kellen Mond, the future for our quarterback, because Kirk Cousins, he's been shaking these past 2 seasons, man. I don't know if he's worth that money or not. So I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't think so. So I'm glad we got Kellen Mond. I believe he could be the future. So I like our draft pick. And the new receiver got an Iowa, Amir Marcetti, I think his name. He looks good as a 5th rounder. I think we got a gem with that. I believe he could be like the next Antonio Brown. Kid me not. I think next Antonio Brown, I won't go there. I'm next Santana Moss. He could be the next Antonio Brown or Santana Moss. Remember the name? Amir Marcetti, I think his name. Amir Marcetti. He looks like he's got the talent to be good. He got the gem to really be good. Yep. Be good. And then another team I like, my Cardinals. My favorite player, DeAndre plays for them. I like what we did. We're getting Rashad Moore, the slot receiver, because we got Hopkins on one side, AJ Green on the other. Then we got Christian Kirk. I feel like Rashad Moore can really step in that role and really do some numbers, do damage. I like his story. If you ever look up his story, remember the name Rashad Moore, where he come from to where he's at now. His mom could barely feed him and his brothers and sisters, and to see him now in the NFL, I like his story as well. So I would like he can have a good season. I feel like with everybody looking at DeAndre and AJ Green and Christian Kirk, I feel like he could be that receiver that Kyle Murray throws to that really can do numbers. So, and then last but certainly, since I'm here in Georgia, I'm gonna talk about the Falcons. The Falcons did okay. They did good in the draft. I wish they would have drafted the quarterback. I wish they would have got Justin Fields. In my opinion, I wish they would have got a quarterback. I wish they got Justin Fields. But they got Kyle Pitts. They got the best player on the board. They got Kyle Pitts. But other than that, they did good. They drafted on defense. They need help with defense. And I feel like a new head coach that got Arthur Smith, pretty much he's putting the emphasis. I think he's going to run the football and have that 2 tight end sit like he had with Jonnu Smith in Tennessee and running that football. So it's and we drafted the running back well. So we drafted what we needed. I feel like Atlanta Falcons, we drafted what we needed. But I know everybody wanted Justin Fields, everybody wanted a quarterback. But I'm okay, I heard next year's draft is going to be more quarterbacks. So maybe Atlanta feels okay, we'll go out the quarterback next year. Matt Ryan didn't have a bad season. He was in the top 10 in fantasy points and everything like that. So I feel okay, he still got a few years left. So I feel like they need to draft a quarterback. So I like what they did in the draft. I wish personally would say would have got Justin Fields, but I understand why they didn't do it. So those are my teams. Both my teams I like. I like what they did in the draft. Those are all the teams I named also is what I feel like what they did in the draft. So like I said, y'all, this is my reaction. These are my biggest winners, drafts, and losers. Like I said, thanks for watching. Y'all have a good day, and I'm out.